What's happening, guys? Welcome back. Last episode I said we'd continue on the roll cage mounts, so that's definitely not what we're gonna do this episode. That's right. I know I said that we were gonna continue on to the roll cage mounts for the main hoop, but I just don't want to. So we're gonna do something different. We're gonna move on to probably the next big piece of this puzzle, which is suspension. And more importantly, front suspension. So let's go over there and take a look. All right, so this is where our front suspension's gotta go. There's nothing there yet, but a couple episodes ago, we went to the junkyard and picked up these front spindles. These were off that RX-8. So we got these, and then we bought some, these are just tie rod ends off of I think a full-size Chev pickup truck. So these are gonna act as our lower ball joints. So they fit in there. And then we picked up some upper ball joints as well. These are a lot smaller, but these didn't fit. If you remember, they didn't quite fit in here. So I actually took these to a machine shop and got him to just mill that top hole out a little bit. So now we have upper and lower ball joints. Now we need to build A-arms off of here. So I got that same machine shop to build me some threaded, come on now. There we go. I got him to thread me a couple of sleeves. So these are gonna be kind of the start of our A-arm. We can weld off of those. And then on the other end, we'll have these big 5/8 Heim joints. These will go on the other end of our A-arms, and you know, we'll connect them with some tubing. The issue that we ran into though was these upper ball joints are also a 5/8 by 18 thread, same as our Heim joints, but they're a reverse thread. They're a left-hand taper. So today I drove all around Calgary and found the last left-handed 5/8 by 18 tap that there is in the entire city. From a company called McDougall Tool up in the north end. He had one of everything. So I got the tap and I got the drill bit for it. So today we are going to make some threaded sleeves like this with a reverse thread in them so that we can get started on our A-arms. So let's grab some tubing and cut it up.
This knife has a straight edge on it, so it's very easy. Maybe in our world here, pretty good. A happy little mountain.
And there we go. Oh, ooh. And there we go. We took and hacked a chunk off on the bandsaw, and then I just faced both sides on the lathe so it's nice and square. And then, as if we're on a cooking show or something, I already prepared 4 other ones. So now we got to drill all these out to the correct ID. We're gonna use the drill press for that. I think I'm gonna throw a 1/2 inch drill bit in there because that's what the inside of this already is a 1/2 inch. Throw a 1/2 inch in there and then align these with that 1/2 inch spindle and then change out the drill bits, and that should keep everything concentric. Might be a bit of a faff, but we'll get her done.
Has a straight edge on it, so it's very easy. Maybe in our world here, there live a happy little mountain.
that wasn't the ideal way to drill that hole out. The vise didn't have a good enough grip on it. It just started to spin. Also, the spindle on that the spindle on that drill press has a bit of a shimmy in it, so it kind of grabs it and moves it around. But you know, it looked worse than it was when I actually got it out, because I just committed and went for it. I calipered it, and that hole has only drifted maybe 25 thou, not even. Yeah, maybe 12 thou off. So, and it's pretty straight. It's just kind of got a bit of an angle to it. So I think that's good enough to tap. I'm gonna try tapping in the lathe. So let's grab. Oh, yeah, I'll just spin it backwards. Let's grab the tap and try to put some threads in this thing.
This is Earth Radio. And now here's human music.
And there we go. That's one of them done. I'll add a little chamfer in there on the lathe in a bit, but one down, 4 to go. I am gonna finish them up this episode, but right now my wife just got home, so I'm gonna take her out on a date, and I'll catch up with you guys tomorrow. And we're back. Last night after I shut you guys off, and I was out with the wife, I had a bit of an epiphany as to how to better drill out these collars. Sure, collars. So I came in this morning and gave it a whirl off camera before I turned you guys on, because it's kind of janky and I wanted to make sure it worked before I showed you guys. But it works. We're probably 5 thou of wander over the entire 2-inch length, so way more accurate. It's definitely not the way that I should be doing it, but it works. So don't try this at home, but I'll show you what we're doing. All right, so here's what we're doing. We got our workpiece in the chuck. The correct way to do this would be then to stick the drill bit into a drill chuck in the tailstock here, but I don't have a drill chuck for my tailstock. All I have is this shitty little dead center. But what I found is my drill bit has an indentation on the end. So I'm able to balance it between that dead center and the workpiece, and then just feed it in with this dead center. And then I got a pair of vice grips grabbing the shank on the drill bit so that it can't spin. So it's not the right way to do it. If you're a machinist watching this, I sincerely apologize. I'm sure this insults everything that you stand for, but I'm working with what I got. So I'm gonna chuck up the other 3 pieces and bore them out, and then we can start tapping them. right, now that all those are drilled up, I want to go in and just put a little chamfer on that inside edge. Very similar to kind of what we did on the outside. You know, some of them got a pretty bad burr pushed up at the end. And then if I put a little chamfer on there, it'll make starting our tap way easier. It'll also form that first thread so that it kind of has a gradual start. So when you go to thread in the ball joint, it'll be easier to thread it in. So I got a new tool stuck in there. Let's throw a chamfer on. All right, now the time-consuming part. We gotta tap them. I can't use the power feed on my lathe because A, I don't think it's strong enough, and B, I'm chicken and I don't want to break my tap off. So it's a manual process. We'll still use the dead center on the tailstock to like align the tap, but other than that, it's wrenching. All right, we're all done. That took a very long time to thread all those, but we managed to get them done. So now we have all of the components to build our A-arms. Nope, I don't have tubing. So I'll have to go pick up some tubing, and then we'll have all the components to build our A-arms. I need to measure up that spindle and then jump on the computer and figure out a suspension design. There's a lot more involved in it than just attach the wheels to the car. So I'll come up with a design for that, and then we can build A-arms, and then we'll have front suspension. But in the meantime, that's where we're gonna have to call the episode, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. If you haven't already, hit the like and subscribe. Also jump on Instagram. We are Leftfootfirst Media on Instagram. Go check that out, and we'll see you guys next week. I'm out of here.